Hey guys, it's Justin and welcome back to another video. In today's video, let's about the 5 ways that you can get aid from the new third stimulus package and basically how you should use your payments and your aids for your future. Now remember, this is from a random person, me, that I'm telling you guys this, so you don't really have to go by this, but these are my recommendations. I thought it'd be really interesting to tell you guys what I would do if I had the stimulus check and what I would do with the money. So let's get right into it. Also, before you do, if you're looking to buy or sell a home here in Georgia, feel free to contact me as I can be a realtor. Link in the description. Also, if you're looking to become a real estate agent, check A Civil Agent. There's a 20% discount code in the link down below. All right, let's get started. All right, so let's talk about the first way that you can get help is by unemployment benefits. So let's hop onto the screen so I can show you guys. All right, the first one is going to be unemployment benefits, which is going to be for those who are unemployed or have been laid off. You're going to get around $324 weekly from state to state. I think around here in Georgia, you're looking around $300 every week, but make sure you guys check your state website about how much and how you can apply so you can get your unemployment benefits. Now, the second thing is going to be your stimulus check that everyone has been talking about. Remember, it's the full $1,400. This is the third stimulus check that's going to go out for people who have gross income of up to $75,000 if you are an individual, $112,500 for head of household, and $150,000 if you are married and filing your taxes jointly. Now, remember that the first waves that went out was last week, Saturday, Sunday. So make sure you guys have your filed taxes for 2019 and that the IRS has your bank account so that it can be directly deposited into your account. If not, you'll probably wait for a debit card or some kind of card that will be sending to you, and you guys will probably be at the end of getting your stimulus check. So make sure you guys have your bank account with the IRS. The third aid that you will be also getting is rental assistance for those who are struggling with their rent. You want to apply for these funds as soon as possible. As you see right here, it's because a lot of people are registering for the rental assistance and there might not be enough. So you want to apply as soon as possible because there is a waiting period, and these are for people who are going to get up to 18 months of rent. And for those who don't know how to sign up for the rental assistance, you guys can also search up, your state rental assistance, or you can go to this website right here, nlihc.org/rental-assistance, and you can select your state right here. So mine is Georgia. And then you'll click on this link right here and it will take you to basically how you can find out if you are eligible for assistance. Right here, I can say I'm a landlord, I'm a tenant. Let's say I'm a tenant, and basically it's going to tell you what you're going to do. And you're going to begin your questionnaire, and basically you'll see if you're qualified for a rental assistance here in your state. Now, the fourth way that you're going to get aid is by mortgage assistance for those who are in need of mortgage and they're close to forbearance or foreclosure. What you can use this money for is your mortgage, your utilities, homeowner insurance, and homeowners association fee. What I've done my research on is mostly who have loans with the federal government. So basically for those who are mortgage that is backed by the HUD, FHA, USDA, VA, or Fannie Mae, or Freddie Mac. Those are the loans. So basically, if you are paying, if you did a down payment of 3.5% down and you took a FHA loan, you will probably get qualified. And I think they do give you a 2 months or 3 months grace period where you can hold off on paying your mortgage. If you have done something that's funded by something directly like your bank or from a loan officer or something like that, you want to make sure you check with them. If it's through a bank, make sure you call your bank up and see if you guys have any, mortgage assistance that they can give you. That way you can get some support on your mortgage. Now, the last one is going to be food benefits. And I think this one's going to be the most important, but the most weird, I guess. It's not so clear on what's going to happen with the food benefits, but basically it's going to help you with your grocery bills and allow you to use your stimulus aid for other pressing expenses. Under this new rule, individuals will get $234 a month for food. Family of 4 can get as much as $782. Now, this all depends on which state you live, so make sure you guys check each state and that you do go onto SNAP's website, the Supplement Nutrition Assistant Program, and you pick your state. What happens is the eligibility of this is a little wonky. I understand it says right here, but it is actually a little wonky because there is no requirements and it's up to anyone 16 or 17 and above. So I did a little research and it says in most places, someone living alone can have a gross monthly income of no more than $1,354 and a net income of $1,004 $41. So basically, if you're making around less than $12,000 or around maybe $13,000, $14,000, you might be eligible for this. You might want to check with your state government to see if you are eligible. And I know some students are eligible for this. I think there's a strict requirement how much investments you have or how many assets you have. So make sure you guys check with your state, and it's always doesn't hurt to apply for these. So if you do have the chance, make sure you guys check SNAP and you check with your state and you guys do apply for some food assistance or if you are in need. Now that we've gone through basically all the aids that you'll get with the third stimulus package that Joe Biden has signed, let's talk about how I would sort of budget my expense and how I would use the stimulus aid for my future. Now, remember guys, these are my recommendations. These are not mandatory, and if you don't agree, that's fine. You guys can put a dislike on this video, but I just want to share you guys what I would do as budgeting wise and what I would do for my future. All right, so the first thing that I would do is number one, if you are struggling with getting the essentials, buy essentials, guys. This doesn't mean go to like CarMax and buy a new car. Oh my gosh, I went to a car dealership last week and everybody was filled buying cars with their new stimulus package checks. And like, you don't need to spend, just because you got $1,400 in aid does not mean you need to go spend that on dumb stuff. You want to make sure you're getting everything that you need for your family, right? Buy essential stuff. So basically this is food, anything for medical, anything for your health, anything that's going to help you and your family out. If there's anything that you need to buy, essentially buy these first. This is basically you want to spend all your money on if you are struggling. Number two is going to be saving up for the future. So what I mean by this is if you have a emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of all your expenses, right? Put it into your emergency fund and save onto this money because you actually won't know for the future. So actually save up for this money. If not, what you guys can do is put it into a high yield savings account, if I can spell, with a interest rate of 1% or higher APR every year. And this is where you're going to get the most of your money. So people who might not know of what's going to happen in the future, you may lose your job, you might lose something and you might not be able to afford something and something comes up, your car breaks down or, you can't pay a mortgage and you need extra money. This is where you want to put your money into a high yield savings account that's going to pay you 1% APR or more every single year so that you're sort of beating inflation. Inflation's around 2 to 3% every single year. So you want to make sure that you're at least beating some kind of inflation so that you're holding onto money and not losing a lot of it. Here are my recommendations for high yield savings accounts that are really good. Number one is Ally Bank. Number two is Discovery Bank. And lastly is Amex Savings Bank. Now these are all over 1% in interest rate, and so they're very good. Ally Bank I think is 1.75 right now. Discovery is 1.7 and Amex is 1.5. Make sure you guys check online for these savings accounts as they might have changed from the last time I checked, but these are really good banks and they are 1% or higher. So at least your money is getting a little bit of interest every single year as you hold on to it. The third way that I would use my money is to pay off any debt. When I mean by debt, I don't mean anything that's a low interest rate debt. If you're looking at debt, maybe less than 2%, I wouldn't go ahead and pay that off in full. But if you have credit card debt or some loan debts that are pretty high in the interest rate, so if you're looking at maybe 10% to 20 or even 30%, I would go ahead and try and pay these off because that is a lot of interest rate. And think about it, guys. If you have $100 as a loan and you're looking at 10% every single month, that means every single month you're having to pay $10 more. So if you have any debt that is high interest rate, so anything maybe 10% or higher or even 7% or higher, I would recommend trying to use your aid, your stimulus money, or any of your unemployment benefits to pay those debt off as quickly as possible so you don't have as much debt accumulating every single month. The fourth way that I would use the stimulus money is if by any chance you are set, you do have all your essentials, you do have an emergency fund, and you're okay for the next 6, 7, 8 months, I would say invest. This is my own recommendation. And what I love to invest is anything that is self-knowledge. Okay, guys? Anything that's going to help you in the future to become successful or more money or build you into becoming a better person. That's what I would invest in, as this is probably the best ROI that you guys are going to get. If you guys don't know what ROI is, anything in return of investments. So buying courses, right? Courses, anything that's books, anything like ebooks, anything that's going to get you guys to make more money in the future or become a better person for yourself. I would recommend these because these are going to get you something that money can't get you. Knowledge is where everything is. And so I would suggest you guys buy courses of something that you guys like. If you guys were interested in, let's say starting a business, right? And you find a course, buy a course on how to start a business, get the knowledge you need. That way you can successfully open up a business and make more money than the $1,400 that you invest to get self-knowledge. But if you're looking at an alternative route of investing, I would say for number 5 is to invest in Roth IRA or dividend investing. The reason why I recommend these two options is because when you invest in a Roth IRA, it's for your retirement, so for your future. So these are things that are not going to be tax deductible. So if you if you buy taxes with your Roth IRA, when you pull it out when you retire, you won't have to pay any taxes or capital gain taxes, which are usually around 10 or 20% of your capital gains, depending on how much profit you made. So this is a great way to basically invest for your future. And if you want something that's basically right now and you want something that you have in control of, I would say do dividend investing. So these are things like buying Apple or buying Coca-Cola, buying Johnson & Johnson, buying Microsoft. That will pay you every single quarterly or annually, depending on how much profit they're making. Basically, it will be paying you on top of you making money on their stocks increasing. And these are two things that I would recommend. Now, I don't recommend individual stocks because remember, guys, individual stocks are very volatile compared to something like a Roth IRA buying an ETF, something on the S&P 500 where you can negate all your risk through multiple streams of companies into one package. When you buy individual stock, you're basically holding onto one company, and if something happens to the company, your stocks can go down or up, very volatile compared to ETFs. And so this is what I would do. If you are looking for anything individual, I would say do your research, make sure you know what's going on. I would go with something a bigger company, because if you go with something smaller, there might be some ups and downs that are really going to affect your investment. You might lose your $1,400 and you might only get $50 from your $1,400. So make sure you guys do your research and buy something big. Another thing that you guys can do is buy Bitcoin or any Ethereum digital currency. I know that has been a big craze, and that is a bigger risk involved because Bitcoin is highly volatile, because it hasn't been consistent in the market like stocks. So if you are looking at the more riskier side of investing, then I would totally get into individual Bitcoin, Ethereum, as there is more reward that you might get in the future, but there is a lot of risk that you might actually not make a lot of money. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Those are 6 ways that I would put my money into. Now, it all depends. You want to make sure that you are comfortable with what you are doing, right? First, make sure you get the necessities. If anything that you need to live off of, make sure you're buying those stuff. But if you are set, make sure you guys are saving your money. And if you guys have all your savings in concurrent and you know what you're doing with your money, then start investing that money, as that's probably where you're going to make more money for your future. So if you guys like these tips and you guys like this type of video, make sure you guys like and subscribe to this channel. And remember, guys, if you're looking to buy or sell a home here in Georgia, feel free to contact me. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.